Tip 1. Pinpoint your source of shyness. Before dealing with the symptoms, you should deal with the root of the problems first. Only after you identify the reason can you effectively solve the problem. Are you shy because of some kind of anxiety disorder? Medicine might help with balancing your brain chemicals to decrease your anxiety. Has a traumatic past event caused you to fear being in front of a crowd? It might be time to process the trauma and start to move on from those fears. Has your upbringing taught you to stay silent until spoken to? Looking at your relationship with your parents, or even looking at your parents' personalities themselves, might help you learn about yourself, why you behave in a certain way, and even start to unlearn some of the bad habits you might have picked up as a child. Once you've identified the source, then you can move on and deal with the other aspects of your shyness. Tip 2. Identify the triggers. Shyness can manifest differently. Take a look at what makes you shy. You might have no trouble speaking in front of a crowd, but you might find it absolutely terrifying to start a conversation with a stranger. Some people have the opposite problem, while others just find speaking to people generally awful. Once you've identified what makes you shy, you can come up with plans to help mitigate the situation. Avoid the situation if you absolutely must, but you should develop plans to ease yourself through them. Tip 3. Accept yourself. Your shyness might come from a self-debilitating, perfectionist view of yourself. Many shy people are afraid of making a fool of themselves, thus avoiding situations where they might be exposed as being less than perfect. If this resonates in any way with you, you need to remember that no one is perfect, including yourself. Everyone has some issues they are self-conscious about. It's a perfectly normal thing. Once you start to accept yourself, you start to gain confidence in who you are, and you'll start to feel less shy. Tip 4. Do your research. For social situations where you'll be in conversations with other people, it's helpful to do prior research about the hot topics of the day. After you go through your general highs and hellos, you can try to start a conversation about a recent news headline. Or, if the other person initiates, you'll have enough information to reciprocate and have a thoughtful conversation about the topic. It's certainly better than sitting around in dreadful silence. Arming yourself with knowledge also helps boost your confidence. You might not have great confidence to begin with, but knowing that you at least have something to talk about can give you that little confidence boost you need to survive the event. Tip 5. Make eye contact. Eye contact is important for social interaction. Not being able to do so can make you be seen as being snobby, shifty, or untrustworthy. By giving eye contact, you're assuring the person you're interacting with that you are giving them your full attention and that you're interested in what they have to say. If you have anxiety in maintaining eye contact, try practicing with someone you're comfortable with. Eye contact also doesn't have to be constant. You can look away for a few seconds when you start feeling uncomfortable. Take a deep breath and make eye contact again. Remember that eye contact is about connecting with the other person and reminding them that you're present in the conversation. Tip 6. Practice talking. Some people might be born with natural charisma and charm and can get through social situations like it's nothing. Most of us, however, have to get there one step at a time. Instead of avoiding every chance at talking, try talking a little bit at a time. You can give yourself a small goal, like contributing to a conversation with people you're comfortable with. Mark your successes and don't sweat the failures. You might feel really awkward in the beginning, but through practice and repetition, you'll start to feel comfortable engaging in conversation with strangers. Tip 7. Focus on others. Often, shyness comes from a self-criticizing point of view. What if I make a mistake? What if I come across as stupid? What if I make a fool of myself? Instead of focusing on yourself, try pivoting the focus to the person you were talking to. Try not to worry so much about what you're going to say, and do and start looking at what the other person is saying. Ask questions about them. Respond to their words. People are more inclined to talk to you when you ask questions and respond to what they're saying. Soon enough, you'll forget about your self-consciousness and start having a lively conversation with others. Tip 8. Take a break. Often for shy people, having long conversations can be overwhelming, especially when you're in a big social gathering. Sooner or later, the anxiety will have piled on top of you, and you'll start feeling the walls closing in around you. If this happens, excuse yourself and leave the situation for a break. Say you need to go to the bathroom, or say that you need a breath of fresh air. Once you've left the room or gone to a quieter part of the room, take a deep breath and try to calm yourself. Close your eyes and slowly take deep breaths in and out. Remind yourself that everything is going to be okay. Try to do this for a few minutes to relax. Then continue with your social interactions. Tip 9. Say yes to invitations. If you're shy, you're probably inclined to say no to invitations to avoid them. Avoiding the problem, however, will never solve the issue. Start saying yes when you're asked to attend a gathering. Yes, it will be terrifying, but you need to start somewhere. Think of it as another opportunity to practice some of the steps you've gathered to get over your shyness. You don't have to say yes to every single invitation, but start making a conscious effort to accept invitations that come your way. Tip 10. Make a list of clear goals. When attempting to overcome a complex issue like shyness, it's easier to break the issue down by identifying some small but clearly defined goals. Think of some of the social situations that you tend to avoid and try to make your goals based on them. Some examples of specific goals can be: introduce yourself to someone new, talk about that new TV show with another person, ask someone to go to the zoo with you, join a new book club, or invite someone to a party. You could have a general list to achieve in your life, sort of like a bucket list, or a new list for every social interaction you're going to have. It's always easier to achieve these smaller goals than a big, daunting one. Tip 11. Be kind and patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. Overcoming something, especially something so ingrained into your personality, is going to take time and effort to do. Don't beat yourself up if you fail at one of the goals you've set up. Instead, take a look at why you didn't meet your goal and come up with another solution for the next time you attempt it. Maybe you need to approach it another way, or maybe you need to start with an even smaller goal. What's important is that you are making an effort to change, and that in itself is worth celebrating. Overcoming shyness is not about changing who you are, but about reframing the way you see yourself to gain more confidence to talk to others. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos on shyness and much more. Check out this playlist of our top videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care!